Extreme Monsters, Book 4, Battling Bigfoot, Chapter 7, Long Jump. Val had spent the last several minutes scanning the downhill race route for Wulf and the other skaters. He knew Wulf could be reckless and was afraid the werewolf might not be watching out for trouble. Through a gap in the leaves, Val spotted a clump of skaters wearing blue, brown, and green. No Wulf. Val flew ahead. Suddenly, he saw a figure in pendant yellow burst from the trees, with Wulf racing behind her. Wulf's legs pumped hard trying to catch up, but the pendant skater had a good lead. Val glanced down the road and noticed the gap where the road stopped. Val dove just as the yellow-clad skater skidded off the edge. Val tackled the pendant's were-kitten mid-fall, seconds before she smashed onto what was left of the bridge below. Val looked up in time to see Wulf jump, grab huge air, and land safely on the other side of the chasm. Wulf hit the asphalt, slowed, and turned. He skated desperately uphill toward the place where the bridge had been. He had to help. He had to save. Just then, Val flew into view with Kitty in his arms. Wulf stared at them, mouth wide open. His heart was hammering.
Dude, nice save. But what? How? Stuff like this has been happening all over the course.
Val set Kitty on her feet next to Wulf.
I've been trying to watch out for people. I think it's sabotage,
he added.
Team Pendant didn't do it,
sniffed Kitty.
They didn't do this anyway.
She hung her head.
We know how Damon Christopher operates,
Val said grimly.
But no, he didn't do this.
Then who? Asked Wulf.
Why? I don't know,
Val said, rising into the air.
Head for the finish line and tell the officials what's happened. I'll fly back and warn the other skaters. Wait, take me with you,
said Kitty.
They might think you're trying to trick them, hold them back or something. They might listen if I'm with you.
Jinx beamed with pride as Wulf zoomed past the finish line. The first skater to arrive. The extreme monsters were ahead. Perched atop her helmet, Bela the bat let out an excited squeal. Following the rules, Jinx stood with the other kayakers waiting for Wulf to pass her the crimson relay flag so she could dash to her modified kayak and begin the final leg of the race. Jinx looked worriedly at the single-person dry bed kayaks resting on their wheels on the parched riverbed. Each kayak had a long land oar, which the kayaker would use to steer the awkward craft down the curving, rock-strewn slope to the final finish line. Jinx knew arriving safely would take strength, skill, and precision timing. She glanced over at the pendant kayaker, a well-muscled gray-green half-ogre. Speaking of strength, she mumbled, unless Jinx got a big head start, the extreme monsters wouldn't stand a chance. Instead of rushing her the flag so she could get moving and win, Wulf was talking to the race official monitoring the handoff.
What was he doing?
Jinx's whole body was twitching. She needed to get moving. Finally, Wulf dashed toward her, hopping from foot to foot and unlacing his skates as quickly as he could while crossing the rocky trail. Jinx bit her lip. Wulf was acting strange. She wondered if he'd fallen and cracked his head. "Come on," Wulf shouted. He grabbed Jinx's arm, trying to drag her toward the riverbed. Jinx dug in her heels, refusing to move.
"Let go, Wulf. What are you doing? You're supposed to give me the flag. I do the kayak part, remember?"
"That's changed," said Wulf. "Everything's changed." He explained hurriedly about the destroyed bridge and how Val and Kitty had gone back to warn the other racers. Wulf was the only skater who had made it across the chasm.
"The race official told me to take one of the kayaks and go with you. I'm supposed to report to T-Rex and Damon in person."
"All right," Jinx said, "but give me the relay flag.
That way, if I actually make it to the bottom in one piece, the extreme monsters will win."
Wulf grinned and handed her the flag. You could always count on Jinx to keep a clear head. The young witch whirled around and raced for her red kayak, as Wulf followed her onto the riverbed. "Ow, ow, ow," he wailed, as rough-edged rocks poked at the soles of his stocking feet. Finally, Wulf remembered to pull off his wristband. He felt the pads on his feet toughen instantly. Ah, that was better. Wulf stared at the kayaks. Which one should he take? With a giant leap, he landed in the yellow one. Since it was Team Pendant's assigned craft, he figured it was the least likely to shake apart. Wulf grabbed the long-handled pole, looking confused. What now?
"Stop!"
the Pendant ogre roared from shore.
"That's my kayak."
She, or was it a he, lumbered down the rocky slope, yelling like a banshee.
"That's an ogre, Wulf. Push the pole,"
yelled Jinx.
"Like this. Hurry."
She shoved her pole against the rocks, first on one side of the kayak, then on the other. The wheels began to bump down the sloping riverbed. Wulf shot a rapid glance over his shoulder. The yellow-clad ogre was almost on top of him. He grabbed his pole and shoved at the rocky stream bed. In seconds, his kayak was rattling downhill, following hard on Jinx's. Faster and faster they rolled, leaving the furious ogre behind. Val watched the scene from high above with a growing sense of relief. The skaters were safe. Now Wulf and Jinx, bouncing down the riverbed, were headed for safety too. Val hovered, unsure what to do next. "Val!" His super-sensitive ears heard the high-pitched call. He looked around. Who was it? "Val! Val!" A second, deeper voice was calling too.
"Steiner,"
Val realized.
"and Mumford. But where were they? Keep shouting,"
he thought, swooping lower to locate the source of the cries.
"I need to hear you in order to find you." "Val, over here,"
the voices called.
"We found something."
"Gotcha," Val muttered. He dropped in the direction of a barren, decaying beet field near the BMX course, far below. The ride down the rocky stream bed shook Jinx's whole body. Bela the bat screeched into the air, Time and again, Jinx used the land ore to keep her awkward craft away from the river walls and large boulders that made the riverbed into an obstacle course. She called out the dangers to Wulf. On one sharp turn, her kayak nearly rolled over. Jinx was half tempted to pull off her wristband, do a quick spell, and forfeit the race. But the riverbed was leveling out. Jinx was approaching the end of the bizarre slalom. Her kayak ripped through the ribbon that marked the finish line and bumped to a stop. Jinx was climbing shakily from her kayak when Wulf rattled to a stop beside her. Jinx and Wulf walked over the rocks toward the slope where the officials were supposed to be waiting.
"Where is everybody?"
Jinx whispered.
"I don't know,"
Wulf said under his breath.
"It's weird."
"Yeah," said Jinx.
"It's like they don't even know we're here. Or maybe we died on that slalom and we're ghosts, only we don't know we're dead, like in that movie,"
suggested Wulf.
"We can't be dead. We didn't hit anything," Jinx argued. "Come on."
When they reached the top of the slope, they could see that the whole event was in turmoil. Athletes and officials were talking in clubs. Reporters were running around, taking pictures and shouting questions that no one was able to answer. Jinx spotted Rexford Snattly moving from one group of officials to another.
"This way,"
she said, and dashed toward him, with Wulf sprinting behind her in his socks.
"T-Rex,"
Jinx called out.
"There are problems with the race, but we made it. Wulf will explain."
"More problems," moaned T-Rex, looking dazed and distracted.
"There have been nothing but problems. Loose rocks, landslides, dangerous pits, injuries, and now this. It's a disaster of enormous proportions."
"No, T-Rex, it's okay," Jinx tried to comfort him.
"Val saved the skaters."
T-Rex looked confused.
"Skaters? I was talking about Damon Christopher. He was waiting in the shade beneath these trees for the race to end,"
T-Rex said, pointing dramatically.
"There are signs of a struggle."
T-Rex wrung his hands. His voice sounded worried.
"Damon is a wealthy and powerful man, and powerful men have enemies. It looks like he's been kidnapped."
"No wonder this place is in an uproar," Jinx muttered to Wulf.
"Come on, let's find Doc."